Yo, people, what's going on? Back again with another episode of Footy Talk. What are you saying, bro?
Well, good, my brother. What are you telling me?
I'm good, bro. I'm good. I can't complain, you know. I can't complain, bro. It's been a good day, bro. It's been a productive one. I can't lie. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, the news broken literally. Bro, how long ago was the Varanting now broken by the United website? Must have been at 7 o'clock, bro, because it was like a few minutes ago. What are you saying about that?
Yeah, they announced it.
How are you feeling about it now? It's done.
Is my thing behind? Or am I good?
No, you're good now.
Oh, I'm good. Fam, I'm still excited from yesterday, you know? Like, because here's the thing, like, last year, all I was hearing was we played a double pivot because the partnership of Lindelof and Maguire is shit. Okay? And to a point, I was like, all right, cool. I'll take it on the chin this year. But, bro, Varane and Maguire, that's our partnership, fam. Like, that's a title-winning partnership. So even if we don't get the 6, they don't need, like, don't get me wrong, extra protection would be great. But if not, bro, they're both good enough to hold it down.
They're both supposed to be anyway. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. We'll find out if they are, because if Oli plays a double pivot again, next season, then it's very clear what man's about, innit? I don't buy into the notion that he played the double pivot because of the centre backs. I don't buy into that for any reason whatsoever, because when he first came in, he wasn't playing a double pivot. It was only after his first loss that he reverted to it. So I don't believe for 1 second that that's the reason why he did it. I think he did it because his focus as a manager is to not lose rather than to win football matches. That's genuinely how I feel, bro. So I don't think that the double pivot is gone forever, as much as I'd love it to be. But yeah, man, we need a number 6 then, because who's going to play in the 6 in that team? Because it won't be Pogba. They're saying it won't be McTominay. It wouldn't be Fred, because I don't believe he trusts Fred anyway. So, and I don't see him starting Matic week in, week out, because Matic's legs are gone, in my opinion.
Apparently, what's it called? From what I read yesterday, Matic is on his way out. So,
really?
Yeah, I read that yesterday. So what it is I read, I don't know if it's the most credible of sources, but it said United are still in for a right back, a backup right back, a central midfielder, which I'm guessing is a number 6, but we need to clear out some players before we can move forward. And apparently the one name that was quoted was Nemanja Matic.
Right.
So that's our only number 6. So if he's going, that must mean something. But at the same time, I genuinely wouldn't be surprised if they try to force McTominay in the number 6.
That's where my brain is sending me. Just as much as I don't want to go there, innit? Like, and then like in one of my group chats, that they posted some quotes saying, they're looking to move McTominay in more attacking positions because he scored 7 goals or something in all competition. I don't believe that, because he's our worst midfielder anyway. But when you look at the attackers that are ahead of him, there's too many players that are ahead of him. You can't tell me if Scott McTominay is ahead of Donny van der Beek, in attacking areas, Donny might as well leave the football club.
Yeah, no, I think with Donny this season is make or break. Like if I was him, and I'm guessing he'd be thinking the same thing. Come January, if you're not getting minutes, and I'm not even talking week in, week out in the Prem, like even a little odd Champions League game, like none of this bullshit coming on for 3-4 minutes.
Yeah,
because he's still relatively young, bro. I'd hand in the transfer request come January, because there's no need. There's no need to stay. Yeah, it's Man United. Yeah, it sounds wavy, but at the same time, you're a footballer. You want to play, and when you're seeing players like McTominay starting week in, week out ahead of you, that's never a good look.
No, never, bro. And I don't know. It's a weird one with McTominay, because he's clearly a favourite at the club, innit? United are clearly trying to build around this youth courage shit. The success hasn't happened, obviously. Do you know what I mean? But they're trying to force the McTominay thing, which is quite worrying for me, because he's not of the level, innit? It's mixed with the Varane stuff, like I've noticed in the comments and stuff like that, super mixed. Certain men are super excited, certain men are skeptical. I've definitely been in the middle. Do you know what I mean? And I think we saw quotes earlier from, I think it was Rio Ferdinand and someone else talking about the difference with defending in the Premier League and in other leagues. And to be fair, yeah, it's not just defending in the Premier League. It's not just that, bro, because we've seen it with goalkeeping as well. Like, the football's different, innit? That's the one thing I would say. Like, a lot of English bias pundits are on their high horse about the Premier League and they overrate it to a certain extent. But one thing that can be said for the Premier League, yeah, for sure, is that the physicality is completely different. The types of teams that you'll face on a week-to-week basis probably varies the most. And we saw players like Nemanja Vidic struggle, like when he came to the Premier League. People forget that Vidic didn't just come and hit the ground running, bro. He struggled. And even if you're a goalkeeper as well, David De Gea struggled, bro, because goalkeepers have to come for crosses. In the Premier League, Varane's going to have to deal with a lot more aerial situations than he probably had to deal with in his whole career at Real Madrid. It's not going to be a case where everyone's trying to play on the floor and you're only going to have to be dealing with overhit passes, recovering with those and this, that, and the other. My man's going to have to really put his body in situations that it's probably not used to being in, week out.
I think, like, we remember even like Van Dijk. Remember Van Dijk's first season at Southampton? He struggled as well.
Yeah.
But it's a matter of how quick can you adapt. And I think, like, I'll be honest, like, funny enough, today I was having a conversation with 2 Real Madrid fans. They're from like overseas. One of them told me that, yo, bro, like, I'm jealous. Like, he's been our best centre back for the past 2 years. You might have secured a gem, especially for that price and everything. But then funny enough, the other one said the complete opposite. And then he said, nah, bro. And here's the best part about it. Like, out of curiosity, I asked for their ages as well. Because I don't really know them like that. I just know them from socials.
Yeah.
And funny enough, the older one is the one who told me, yo, you man are pissed. And then I was like to him, like, yo, I was like to him, like, fam, look, the numbers look good. Like, from the numbers that I've seen, he looks good. But he told me he's very error prone. And he's worried
and the stats back that up.
Yeah, in terms of errors, the stats back out. But also, his defensive numbers look good for the past 2 years.
Yeah.
But the thing is I don't know what it is. Like, so many Real Madrid man back him, and so many don't. So I don't know
what it is. Players that divide opinion, I always worry about, if my eye test is kind of doing that. You know them one. Because the thing is, if you're centre back at any top club, your numbers are going to look good anyway. Your basic numbers, because your team is going to have more possession than other teams. So really, you should be defending less. And because you're playing against players that are weaker than you, you should be winning most of your battles. So everything should be in your favor anyway. But he does divide opinion, like, heavily, innit? He really does. And it's one of them ones where it just depends on how deep you want to analyze the game, to kind of see where you sit on him. Like, my main thing with him was, like, at this point in his career, I feel like someone with the clout that he has, I'm very surprised that no one else was in for man, seriously in for him, where he could go somewhere to continue winning trophies, because he's won trophies at Real Madrid almost his whole career. And with that, I would think he would have the mentality where it's like he would want to be at an elite team, innit? Like, Man United are an elite football club, but they're not an elite team, innit? Like, they're not. They haven't won anything of any substance in a very long time. So almost his willingness to come was worrying for me, innit? And then I'm hearing that the wages that man's on, that they're reporting is after tax, not before tax. The 11 million euros a year or something like that. So that would put him on about nearly 350, which would make a lot more sense as to why he came. Because I don't know, something in my head can't understand him coming to Man United for 200 grand, because he was on slightly less than that at Real Madrid.
Yeah, you guys mentioned it yesterday. So,
and that sounded a bit off even when I was saying it, the 200k. I was like, this sounds weird. Do you know what I mean? Knowing that David De Gea is on 370 something, 375. Man's gonna come for 200. It sounded too good to be true. And yeah, man, like it's a bit of a mad one. Like, I don't know how hungry he is still.
I think, like with United, look, whether it's now, next year, the pull factor is the money. That's it. Okay, the pull factor is the P's. We can probably pay you P's that no other club will. Because let's be real, in terms of project, yeah, everybody's getting gassed in terms of the rebuild and everything. But fam, you don't need to complete an entire rebuild to beat Villarreal. Okay?
No, not at all.
Yeah, you can still win things along the way whilst rebuilding. Let's say once you complete the rebuild, that's where you can start going for the Champions League and the Prem. So that's why I'm not really buying this whole rebuild shit. And I think with Varane, like similar to what you said, for the price, for the age, the experience, it is surprising that no one went in for him, because today I'm hearing that Chelsea are going in for Kounde, who's apparently being quoted 70, 80 million. So if they're really in for a centre-back, why not go in for Varane, who's more proven, more experienced? He will suit their back line. So it is worrying when you look at it from that side, that he was available and teams want defenders, but nobody went in for him. So I genuinely think it's a matter of money. That's why he came to United.
Of course it has to be, bro. Like, bro, use your noodle, bro. Like, use your noodle. Nothing else don't make sense. Like, I think Fab said, oh, yeah, teams are in for him. Like, like loads of teams. So if loads of teams are in for man and he chooses the one team that hasn't won anything, clearly it's not a footballing decision, really, is it? Like, it isn't. And I'm not saying that there's a problem with that, because, bro, all of us in our jobs right now, yeah, if man said, yo, I'm gonna double your wages, if that's what they're doing, yeah, I'm gonna double your wages to come play for us, or come do whatever you're doing, you're going, innit? You're going. So it's one of them ones. But when you make a decision based on that, then when that's your motivation in the forefront, you've then got nothing to prove. You've got no pressure on you, innit? So, and like my man said, he's left Carlo Ancelotti to play for Solskjaer.
Yeah, so it's definitely a money thing. And I feel like from his end, it's more like he's won everything in the game. Yeah. He's won a few Champions Leagues. He's won La Ligas. He's even won a World Cup. So it's not as if like he's coming to the Prem in order to prove himself. Fam, he can retire tomorrow and he'll still be regarded as one of the best centre-backs of our era, because his CV speaks for itself. So I think, especially like players of that age, they probably look at it as like, yo, I've only got 1-2 more contracts in me. Let's be real, I've only got 1-2 more.
So bro, this is his last big contract. So of course it was money motivated.
So
like what, he's 28 now?
28, yeah. I think he just turned it. So of course it's a money thing. And I think like, look, like I think, here's what I think. I think it will be like, he won't live up to the expectations that people have of him. Because like when you hear Varane, like I'll be honest, when I heard it, I was like, yo, like that's marquee. Like I'm expecting him to come in and revolutionize that whole defense, similar to a Diaz, similar to a Van Dijk. Here's the thing, I don't think that will happen. But when you compare him to the centre-backs that we do have, it is a massive upgrade. Yeah, and it will improve our defense. Yes. But whether that improvement is enough for us to go and kick on and actually win a title, that stems down to the manager.
Remains to be seen. Remains to be seen. The funny thing is, yeah, for me though, what's a bit mad is, I think all the, like you said, all the comparisons and all the like all the scenarios that people are putting in their head, bro, like it's almost like they don't know what kind of footballer that we've bought. Like they don't know. Like if they're not going, they're kind of expecting the big leader, ball playing, like well-rounded centre back. Like that's not what we've signed, innit? And that's what I was saying earlier. We haven't signed Virgil van Dijk, bruv. Like we haven't. Like he's not that kind of player. Furthermore, yeah, centre backs are about partnerships. Maguire will still be the leader at the back. He'll still be the ball player, and Varane will come in to complement Harry Maguire and not the other way around. Even though Varane's name is more, it's more prestige and it is like a marquee signing on paper, I think the realization will come very soon, yeah, that Maguire is still our main centre back.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like that defense is being built around Maguire. And I think we all knew this when we had just signed him and we gave him the captain's armband. Like, best believe they can, every single centre back, every single player in our defence can drop a stinker, but Maguire's the only one that will never get dropped because he's the captain. And I don't think Ollie's got it in him to make a statement like that by dropping Maguire, because there were periods where Maguire was shit, but Maguire wasn't getting dropped because he's the captain. So I think Varane will complement him 100%. Like he has, like, yeah, he's lost that pace, but he's still relatively fast. He's got the recovery pace. He'll aid him. I just worry because from what I'm hearing, he will play on the right-hand side. And I don't know if he'll get along with Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka's positioning is relatively poor.
Well, I think they're very similar in terms of how they defend, innit? They're quite leggy, lanky players, quick. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah. And Wan-Bissaka's not great on the ball. So to have like Varane to his left, yeah. I would probably be more confident with him on Shaw's side, innit? But Maguire likes to play on the left-hand side. So again, it's minor details, innit? It's still an upgrade on Lindelof, bro. Like maybe not ball playing wise, but in terms of general quality, I think it's a big upgrade, bro. It's a big upgrade. And also a lot of people have kind of put question marks around his fitness though. Do you know what I mean? And that's another thing. If you're a player that you know physically, you've had better days, yeah, of course you're going to go where they're going to pay you the most money, because the less football that you play, the more your kind of value goes down as a player. So if you know that you are perhaps injury prone, of course you're going to go someone that's going to pay you the most money, because you know that this is your last big contract. And like my man said, similar to the Cavani thing, Cavani as well was meant to go to Benfica, and then Man United came knocking with an offer that he couldn't refuse financially, and he came to us. And since he's come to us, look how many times Cavani's been in and out because he's been injured. And I'm sure the same thing will happen next season.
I think with Cavani, like even prior to coming to Man United, I always knew he was injury prone in a sense, like especially towards the end of his career. Like at PSG, I think his final season, he hardly played. He was out for nearly the whole season. Varane, from what I know and from what I've been told, he's only had one relatively big injury. And that was it. Like, apparently he's always fit. Like, he's always ready to play. So I think he'll do well. Like, I think he'll be better.
The thing is in football, yeah, big injuries, though. When people talk about big injuries, it's not big injuries that make players injury prone. It's loads of little ones. You know them ones, like a big injury, I wouldn't say you're injury prone, because sometimes these big injuries, most of the time when players have big injuries, yeah, it comes from collisions and stuff like that. There's nothing you can do about it. Not many players do actually get big injuries in careers, and if players do get big injuries, it can be detrimental to their career going forward, isn't it? It's just like Virgil's injury, yeah. An injury like that in a football player, yeah, that's a big injury. Something that has man out for, I'd say anything that has man out for upwards of 6 months, I would say is a big injury. Do you know what I mean? When you're getting injuries and you're out for maybe 3-4 weeks at a time, then you're back, then you're out for another 3-4 weeks, then you're back, and then you're out for another 2 weeks. I think that's where the injury prone kind of thing comes in. I don't think we can blame players from getting big injuries. Like if you look at Spinazzola's injury, you'll be out for about 6-7 months. That's a big injury, innit? An Achilles thing. Like you can't blame a player for that. These things just bloody happen.
Yeah, so I think with Varane, that's not the case. I think it's just a matter of him having to come in, adapt. And I think he's probably looking at it as, let's be real, the expectations aren't going to be as high as they are at Real Madrid. If I was a player and I was coming from Real Madrid and I was coming to Man United, yeah, Man United sounds wavy, but let's be real, Man United aren't the Man United of old.
Not
like,
at all.
We're not, like, fans' expectations, yeah, when we go into Champions League, we expect to win. We expect to compete for the league this year. But let's be real, man, players know, like, with United, you know you can get away with bottling the group stages. And he won't hold much heat. Fam, when at Real Madrid, like, Zidane was holding the heat just because they lost their first group stage game. Yeah,
true.
Yeah, so I think as a player, especially 28, big money, bro, like, I'm choosing Man United all day, every day. I'm not going to get no heat. I'm going to enjoy my football. I know I can get away with a stinker because at the end of the day, I've still got the big boy name. I've still got Varane. No one's going to question me in a sense. Yeah. So it makes a lot of sense from his end.
Facts. That's what I mean. So overall, I just think that, I think it's a deal that suits everyone, innit?
Mm.
It's that simple. It suits everyone. It suits him from United are willing to pay him money that Real Madrid simply weren't willing to pay him. There's less pressure as well. It's a new challenge if you really believe in what he's saying. I'm not really believing that, to be fair. Like, because Benzema's still there. Sergio Ramos spent up however long there. Do you know what I mean? In my opinion, you don't leave Real Madrid, for a new challenge, innit? You leave Real Madrid when Real Madrid don't want you anymore. And the same goes for even Sergio Ramos. They said that he signed the contract, and my man said, nah, the time had expired on it, bro. Like, you don't leave Real Madrid when you want to leave. You leave when they don't want you anymore. That's always what Real Madrid's been like. It's not a club that people openly say, oh, yeah, I don't want to be here no more. I don't know a single player. Do you know what I mean? I don't know a single player that's left Real Madrid really on their own terms. Like, even when CR7 left, you could tell by the way even Perez talks about my man. He loved him as an asset, but it come to a point where he was like, you know what, this ain't worth the trouble no more. He can leave now. We've had the best of him. And I believe that Perez believes that he's already had the best of Varane, and he's happy to pursue life without him, innit? So that could be massive for us, and that could be a massive benefit for us. Or he could come in and kind of underwhelm, which I hope isn't the case. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think even when he comes, even if he was to be proper poor, I don't think he would reach the levels of a Lindelof. That's what I think. Because, like I said, like I watched him in the Euros, I watched him a few times in the Champions League last year. I like what I saw. Like he's good. And like with Lindelof, it's more the case of he's a defender, but he doesn't really like to defend. He just likes to carry the ball. He likes to make the passes. With Varane, he's not the best on the ball. So the only thing I'm going to judge him on is defensively.
100%.
Yeah, and I think he looks good. He looks proper good. It's just a matter of adapting. And I know a lot of times these foreign players struggle with the whole weather change.
Yeah, the weather change, the culture change.
Yeah, Cavani was complaining about it, I think, come January. That's when the whole Boca Juniors talk started coming in. Started talking about, I want to be close to my family. I want to have nice weather and rare. So with Varane, I'm not really going to judge him based off his first season, to be fair. Like, unless he drops stinkers week in, week out, I'll probably judge him in the second year. But this year, it's all about adapting, and let's see what happens.
Yeah. So, I mean, apparently Real's budget is 120 million, 22 million without Varane money going through. Watch them receive it and go straight for Mbappe. Possibly. And you know what is with Real Madrid? What it looks like, obviously, because they've got the director of football in it, it looks like Real Madrid are trying to change their strategy and kind of build for the future and bring in younger players, innit? That's what it looks like. I think the Alaba thing was an offer that just made so much sense after losing a Ramos and that. But I think that's a one-off. I don't think we're going to see Real Madrid sign many players over, I'd say, the age of like 24 going forward. It looks like they're trying to do the young rebuild project thing. And yeah, it could be interesting if they blow that money on Mbappe now, or they just wait for one more season, because I think he's in his last season of his contract. They might just wait for a year. They've got Benzema.
Benzema signed a new deal.
Exactly.
So it doesn't make sense to splash the cash on Mbappe. Wait a year for Mbappe. If anything, use that money to get the players that will get the most out of Mbappe next year. And then next year, you can just go all out for Mbappe. Like, just literally just strictly focus on him. And maybe even if Pogba's a free agent next year. Like, those will be two massive free agent signings.
Oh, shit. I didn't even think about that. Bro. That's true. I can't even lie, bro. I can't even lie. I just clocked they might both be on a free transfer next season.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Both of them on a free agent, every single club will come in for them. If Mbappe is a free agent, I can see United trying to go in for him. But let's be real, when Real Madrid come calling, ain't nobody care what P's are being offered. Nobody cares what project you have. Fam, everybody's going to Real Madrid.
Yeah, the history of the club, just carries it, bro. Yeah. Carries it.
That's it.
Like Mbappe saying he wants to go there and no one else, bro. Like, it's always kind of been, I want to go Real Madrid. I don't know. You know what I mean? And it's not purely football reasons. It's the nostalgia. I think the romance that Man United used to have, they don't really have it for players anymore, in a sense that United ain't won nothing measurable in a long time. Real Madrid has still had recent success in it. United haven't had any. So I think Real Madrid have kept have kept up their, I wouldn't even say the past, because they're still a team that wins stuff almost every year, bro. Do you know what I mean? There's almost every year, bro. Like Zidane won what 3 or 4 Champions Leagues there, bro. For flip's sake, bro. Like in recent times. So it's not a has-been thing with Real Madrid. They're very much currently still always in the conversation for everything.
They always are, because like they're not the same Madrid of old, which were very dominant, and where like we're talking every year they're going into every competition and we're thinking, yo, like Madrid are the clear favourites. But the thing is, what, they might sit out for 12 months and then the following year they'll win something. Their name is still up there. But you see with United, ever since 2013, like we've just fallen off like ridiculously. And if I was a player and I'm seeing Man United, like, yeah, Man United, big team. But fam, I'm not really going to buy into this whole 3-4 year rebuild. Watching United lose to teams against Villarreal, like it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to go to Man United besides money. But with Madrid, you look at the team, you look at the players, you look at the club as a whole. And even like if I was a player, I'll look at Madrid and I'll be like, okay, cool. I see that their players are aging in a sense. They've got an aging squad 100%.
Yeah.
They're still winning shit. Their name is still up there. They're still reaching the latter stages of the Champions League. They're still doing wonders. But with Man United, it's like they're spending peas, but they're still doing jack shit about it. So it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. That's it. So like anyone that obviously is analysing this, obviously you're going to be skeptical when man are leaving Real Madrid, innit? For Man United, bro. You're going to be super skeptical, which is normal. Do you know what I mean? Another one that could be on the move this season, or from what I'm hearing, is going to be on the move, even though he's kind of playing it down, is Erling Haaland to Chelsea, bro. And from what I've heard, there was a verbal agreement between Chelsea and Dortmund, to let Dortmund do their business before they make an official bid, because they didn't want people to know how much money that they were going to have to spend, because they didn't want to get fleeced, innit? So I'm hearing that they're going to bring in the players that they need to bring in. Obviously, they just announced Marlon, and they might get someone else. And then I think the deal will go through after that, bro. So if he goes to Chelsea, personally, I think they win the league, innit?
100%. Like I've even said this before, their problem, especially under Tuchel, was just putting the ball in the back of the net in a sense. And it wasn't because they don't create anything. Nah, they create. They just don't have that gunman up front that can put it in, week out. Because defensively, they're amazing. And this is like I've never rated Rudiger or Christensen. And I'm thinking like, if that defense is that strong with those two, imagine if he was to actually go out and sign proper centre backs. So with the Haaland thing, in order for Chelsea to compete this year, they need a number 9, whether it's a Haaland, whether it's a Lukaku, whether it's a Danny Ings. They just need somebody that's reliable and can put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I'm saying is, similar to last year, you see when United wanted Sancho, and it was the president that came out and he said, listen, this is how much we want and this is your deadline. If you don't pay it, we're moving on. They haven't said that about Haaland. Nobody's come out and put any deadlines on Haaland. So I think they are open to selling him. It's just a matter of Chelsea paying the peas.
For sure, you're right. The way they handled the Sancho thing was completely different. Completely different. And the thing is, if someone's not for sale, Dortmund seem like the kind of club that would say that.
100%.
100% they're the kind of club that would say that, because Dortmund would have said, yo, like, he's not going nowhere. Because Dortmund have said that with Sancho before. They said it with Sancho. They were like, he ain't going nowhere. I mean, if you want him, it's going to cost this much. Or we're happy to keep him. Do you know what I mean? But they're looking at it and they're thinking, yo, there's a clause in his contract that he leaves for 75 million euros next season. So if you do give man 140 million euros this year, of course you can have him. You know the ones there. It's just one that makes sense. If you're going to nearly double what we're going to get next season, you can have him now, bro. But don't give us the money now and then people know we got 140 million in our pocket and then the price of every player's gone up 30 million. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what they don't want, innit? And that just shows to me that they're a bloody very well-run club, because the best clubs usually buy before they sell.
Yeah. They've always done that.
Yeah.
Dortmund always do that. Like, I can't remember it was the period when they signed Eden Hazard's brother. they had shifted. I think they had shifted Dembele, but prior to shifting Dembele, they brought him in.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, they plan ahead. That's how top teams operate. Like they know, okay, cool, we're going into the summer. This player is going to leave. Safe. Let's line up the replacements. Once he's gone, we pattern it, and then we can move forward. But I think with the Haaland deal, it's more like they're trying to suck as much peas out of Chelsea as possible because they know at the moment Chelsea need a number 9 and they're dying for a number 9. Similar to when United were dying for a centre back and when we got Harry Maguire. No matter where we looked, we were getting shagged because everybody knew United wanted a centre back. So with the Haaland deal, it's more like you guys need a number 9. Now here's the thing: you can try wait 12 months, but best believe all the top clubs are going to come in. And let's be real, like you can compete, but then it's going to be a matter of it's Haaland's choice. So you might pay the P's, but he might just be like, you know what, I'm not feeding Chelsea. But at the moment,
he'd be like, I was feeling Chelsea last year, but now I've got the option of Real Madrid, I've got the option of Barcelona, I've got the option of Bayern Munich. All of a sudden, it's like, well, I could go Chelsea, but now I could go somewhere else.
100. So at the moment, it's a matter of whoever pays gets him. If not, next year, I think it's all about project.
Yeah.
And let's be real, like Chelsea, wavy project, but at the end of the day, your project will never compete with the likes of Barcelona or Real Madrid. And that's even if they're not winning anything. Like the club, the name speaks for itself. So that's why I think Chelsea are going to try to go all out because next year they know they won't bag him.
Yeah, facts. Kounde as well to Chelsea. You know what's funny, as well, and testament to how Chelsea operate, it's kind of like you don't really hear them linked to, man. All of a sudden, them man are talking like personal terms are agreed, bro. Like Chelsea do their stuff very well on the low, innit? They do it very well on the low. And I just feel like the Kounde thing, the reason why the Kounde thing makes sense for Chelsea and I didn't want him for Man United is because he's good on the ball. He's nippy. Do you know what I'm saying? He's not very authoritative. He's not gonna be like, probably he's 5'10", bro. Like he's not gonna be your big aerial centre back. But in a free at the back, he'll be an asset for them, bro. Because if you're seeing Rudiger and Christensen and these man looking elite, playing in that formation, someone that's good on the ball and a good athlete, straight away is gonna thrive, bro. Straight away he's gonna thrive, bro. Like there's no two ways about it. And Chelsea are a heavy possession-based team, innit? Whereas Manchester United are not.
Yeah. I think another thing that really complements Kounde going to Chelsea is the fact that Tuchel is a tactician in a sense. He's a very tactical manager. So here's the thing: like, how many times have we seen Tuchel where it's like at half time he just switches up the entire formation? If I'm a manager, and that's what I like to do, bro, I'm trying to get as many versatile players as I can get. Because rather than wasting a sub, I can just play you in another position. But you see, with Man United, because we strictly play 4-2-3-1, there's no point of really getting many versatile man. We might as well just get a man that suit that position. But with Chelsea, cool, I'll play Kounde at centre-back. Yo, if it's not working, I want to change it up at half-time. I'm not wasting a sub. I'll just put him in a number 6 because apparently he can play as a number 6. So that's what it is.
Yeah, bro. I think for the kind of manager they have, it's a good signing. I wouldn't like him at Manchester United at all, but I think for Chelsea and what they do, and apparently they're saying it's 30 million plus Kurt Zouma. If that's the case, it's decent business, bro. Like, because Kurt Zouma, I don't rate very highly at all.
Yeah, I think he's the weakest link of all their centre backs. But the thing is, I don't think he will be 30 because he's the same player that was being quoted at 80 million. So you're trying to tell me that Kurt Zuma's worth 50? Like,
yeah, no, I think that they price him at I think they price him at 50, bro. Kounde.
Oh, okay, cool. So then I think if it was 50 plus Zouma, that might make sense. But 30 M's plus a Zouma, that makes no sense at all for Seville.
If they're saying that Zouma must be worth 20. Because that's what they're saying, bro. Because that's what they're saying. I'm seeing 50 million floating around.
So 50 plus Zouma.
No, I'm seeing 50 million like overall valuation.
Oh.
For the deal. That's what I'm seeing floating around. And you know what, man, that Marina is a crook, bruv. So I can see her pulling that out of the bag. That
she's done it before.
She's a top finesser, bro.
She's done it so many times. Like, what was it? The Havertz deal. They wanted, I think, Rafinha 90 euros or something. And then she managed to pattern it for around 70, 75. Bro, at the end of the day, like there's a lot of things that go into play when you're trying to negotiate with a player. Yeah, there's money. Yeah, there's wages. But at the same time, there's project. And with Chelsea, like, bro, they've just won the Champions League. Like, that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
So every player would want to go there. They've got a good negotiation team. They'll probably get him for a bargain.
Yeah, no doubt. Do you know what I'm saying? And Jack Grealish as well. Another one. I heard Leon Bailey. Leon Bailey's going to Villa. From what I've heard, it looks like they're saying advanced stages for Jack Grealish. I can't remember what show I said, but what show was it yesterday? But I don't know. But I was hearing like pretty much like the deal should be done like near enough by the weekend, bro. To be honest, like man, I'm saying what impact will Grealish have at City? One thing I'll say is I can't see how a player of the caliber of Jack Grealish has anything other than a stupidly positive impact.
He'll be amazing. Like, firstly, Pep will develop his game more. That's one. Two, bro, like he does wonders in that Aston Villa team. And let's be real, he's not really surrounded by ballers. So imagine you actually put him around ballers that actually are on a similar wavelength to him. Like, they like the ball to feet. They like to bounce the ball off one another. They can all interchange with one another. Bro, it will be ridiculous. Like, the only worry I would have is who's the number 9, who's the focal point of that team. Because if they're trying to go into the new season with Gabriel Jesus, I don't rate him in the slightest. And at times, when City did try to go forward with the whole false 9, they do look toothless, like similar to the Champions League.
I think against the bigger teams, yeah, but against the smaller teams, I think they were still pamming them.
Yeah,
they were still pamming them, bro. Do you know what I mean? So I just think it'd be against the bigger teams where they might struggle. But if they beat everyone else, I don't think it really matters too tough. I think they could get away with it for one more season if they had to. Innit? But the one thing about Jack is, like my man's saying, apparently they want to play Jack as an 8. And that would be sick. But the thing is about Grealish, what makes him so dangerous is he can pass, bro. Like, his passing is underrated. If there's players around him, he can bounce it. But also because he's such a good ball carrier, yeah, he can use the runners around him as a decoy and absolutely just kill you. Do you know what I mean? With the ball at his feet. So, like, he's got so many weapons. Like, even if they do play him on the left and he's got people overlapping and people coming inside, he can play that pass between the lines, or he can use the run, decoy, and then he's rolling and going past, man, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, you saw the assist that he got for Harry Kane for England when I think Luke Shaw overlapped down that outside, and he just used them and absolutely cooked the defender, bro. Like, bro, he's such a baller, and I think him in midfield as well, centrally for Man City, is going to be absolutely amazing because people are forgetting that Grealish can play there.
And I think at City, like, they're the only team that I see in the Prem where they'll put out the formation, but then in the final third, it's more like all of their attacking players can just roam around in the final third, that they don't have to strictly stick. And that will benefit him so much. That's the thing that makes City so good, is that they're so unpredictable. Like, their players literally turn up on every corner. They don't just stick to a position. Like, if you're told to play on the left, you're not sticking to the left. You might be on the right. You might be in the center. And for a player like Grealish, who can do it, like, bro, you put him on the right, he'll cause damage. You put him on the left, he'll cause damage. Like, he will flourish in that team, without a doubt. And the thing is, they get Grealish. I think if they do get Grealish, they won't sign a striker this year. The following year, if they do go in for any striker, like, bro, that team is built to dominate for the next few years.
Because, like, man is saying maybe if Kane don't go this season, he'll definitely go next season. Even though I can't see Harry Kane, after doing the whole Sky Sports thing, yeah, staying at Tottenham. I believe that there's an agreement in principle with Tottenham that he can leave, innit? I believe that there is that.
I think with Kane, the whole Kane thing, it slightly reminds me of Ronaldo and his final year at Man United, which is where he wanted out. Everybody knew he wanted out. We knew the club he wanted to go to, but it was more just out of respect for the club. you give one
Give
more
me
year.
one more season. Yeah, that's what Sir Alex Ferguson said. But also, it was one of them ones where man just won I won the CL, so it was easier to say to man. It's
Yeah,
easier to say that.
it is easier, but I feel like at the moment, like, look, here's the thing with Kane. Kane will have to stay at Tottenham if no one pays the fees. And let's be real, who's paying that fees? Like, United are not in for a striker. Liverpool aren't in for a striker. Any other club overseas, they're not in for a striker. And even if they are, they're not going to pay Harry Kane money. It's only
true.
so
Next season, United could be in for him though if he stays there one more season, because I think if he stays there one more season, his price goes down, and Cavani definitely his legs are falling off by then.
Yeah, so it would make sense. Like for example, if he wanted more options, he stays one more season. He just gives it a run with Nuno, sees how it goes, and then next year more teams will come in because he'll be a year older. He'll be a year closer to his contract. A lot of teams will come in for him because United will definitely go in for him. City will definitely go in for him. But this year, if City sign Grealish, there's no way they go in for Harry Kane. So just do one more year and then leave next year when you've got a variety of options.
Yeah, facts. A man said, what happens to Sterling if Grealish joins City? I think from what I've heard, do you know what I mean? I heard that kind of Tottenham were interested in trying to get Raheem Sterling, but he wasn't really trying to go there. You know, like that. So yeah, like because there was rumors actually as well of like, yeah, maybe adding players as part of the deal, innit? And they're saying apparently Raheem was on that list, but he ain't really trying to go Spurs on that.
I think
so. Yeah, it's a weird one.
I think with City, the one thing City do so well, like if I was a City player and I saw players coming in, the one thing I wouldn't be worried about is getting minutes because Pep rotates. That's the one thing. That's why he's one of the top coaches in the world, well, the top coach. Yeah. Because bro, like on a Saturday, he'll play a completely different team to the team that he plays in midweek in the Champions League. He gives everybody minutes. So if I was a player, I wouldn't be that worried because everybody's going to get a fair share. But I think what will happen is next year they will shift a few man because some of their players are beginning to age. Like I think next year Mahrez will be 30, 31.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sterling will be about 28, entering his prime. I think at that age, Sterling wouldn't want to be more of a squad rotational player where he plays 1 week and then sits the other week out. I think at that age, that's where Sterling will want to leave. Because, bro, I'm at City. I've won everything. Now I just want to play week in, week out. I'm in my prime years. And I think that's where Sterling will leave. And then that's what will fund the money for Kane.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So, yeah, bro, like, there's the funny thing is with this situation, there's so many different ways potentially that it can go. Do you know what I mean? A lot of the time with transfers, it's always dependent on something else. It's always dependent on something else. It's always a domino thing. And that's why you see deadline day, people are always waiting to see what big transfer happens, because once a big transfer happens, then there's a domino effect. All right, cool. My man's gone here. They need a replacement. They're going to take it from another club who then has to find a replacement for that player, innit? So with the Tottenham and the Harry Kane situation, and even the Man City situation, I think they'll be looking at what business Tottenham are doing to say, yo, if Tottenham are doing certain business, would it make it maybe easier for Harry Kane to come? They're probably thinking, how much does Tottenham want? Because I don't think it takes long to do the deal. I think Levy's probably given them one figure and he's like, it's this or nothing. Because he strikes me off as that kind of guy.
Yeah, he's not the type to negotiate. Because especially from his end, like, you get to keep an asset like Harry Kane. Like, that's the player that guarantees you goals year after year. And let's be real, he carries them in a sense. He gets the best out of all their players. Like, he gets the best out of Son. Kane leaves, I don't think Son will flourish as much as he does. So if I'm Daniel Levy, this is the amount I want. You either pay it or Kane stays. But the only worry that I have is I don't know if Kane's head will be there this year if he doesn't get the move that he wants. Doing a sports documentary, like literally letting the whole world know, yo, I want out. Then you don't get the move, especially as a player. If you know teams are coming in for you, but Levy is saying no because he's trying to play hardball, bro, I'll get pissed off. I'll be thinking like, I've done so much for you over the years.
And like, he also said that he said he had like a kind of, not necessarily a verbal agreement, but he's like, yo, like, the owner knows my ambition.
Mm.
Do you know what I'm saying? So he said it. He knows my ambition, and hopefully, he said, hopefully the conversation goes well. Obviously, I don't know how it's gonna go, but in his head, he's probably saying, "Listen, I've given you everything, innit? I've given you everything that I could possibly give you, and man to man, respectfully, yeah, like just let me go, bruv. Like that, I've given you everything, you know, like that."
Yeah, so it makes sense, but at the same time, Levy also knows that he has a club to run. And here's the thing, like, if Tottenham now wanted to generate money, let's be real, who can they sell to generate big money? There's no one in that squad that's worth anything. Maybe Son, that's it.
And he just signed a new deal.
Precisely, he just signed a new deal. So who's really out there for you to generate peas to go out and, like, because let's be real, Tottenham need a rebuild, 100%.
Yeah.
The back four is finished. The midfield is relatively poor. So, bro, if I've got Harry Kane and I'm thinking, yo, he's my most prizable asset, I'm going to try and suck as much money out of it as possible. So it makes sense for Levy to play hardball. But, yeah, for Harry Kane, he might be on the wrong end of it.
Yeah, absolutely. My man said Lee Carsley, yeah, has been made under 21 boss and Ashley Cole his assistant. How does that work, Rants? You're trying to set me off. So I'm not gonna give you what you want here, bruv, because we all know what it is. So it's long, innit? Hard. This is a madness.
It's common knowledge.
Bro, I've had this conversation 2 minutes. Lee Carsley played for Everton. He's a bald Phil Mitchell looking geezer.
He was
he was crap, bro. He was beneath a water carrier. He was shite. Do you know what I mean? Like literally, he wasn't even a McTominay, bro. He was awful.
No, he was awful. Like, he was like a pit bull in a sense. Like there was just nothing going on.
Bruv, he was awful, bruv. He was awful. And this is what it is, yeah? Like, bruv, if your face fits, yeah, you can get a job. You can get a first team job, yeah, or like not even a first team job. You can get a job, like a managerial position as your first job. You can, innit? Like, bro, Paul McShane got the under 23s job at Man United, and he was a shit footballer, yeah, and he's still playing. That's a job that Dwight York couldn't get. Do you know what I mean? So Lee Carsley. Ashley Cole reporting to Lee Carsley, bro. Do you know how disrespectful that is?
I'm surprised Ashley Cole even took it. I would have just stayed a pundit until something comes about.
Man played for the Republic of Ireland. Man played for the Republic of Ireland. Republic of Ireland.
Not many people went in for the under 21 role.
Bro, no, Jody Morris, I think, went in for it, bro.
Yeah, then it makes no sense to give it to Lee Carsley because at least I know Jody Morris has some experience. Like maybe
at Chelsea, he's won titles, bro.
Yeah, so it makes no sense to give it to Lee Carsley. So there's definitely something behind it.
Bro, at the end of the day, yeah, man could talk about Lee Carsley's experience and all these other things, yeah. It doesn't mean nothing, bro, because experience don't get you jobs in football, bruv. It doesn't get you jobs in football. Joe Cole went in for the job as well, he said. Experience don't get you jobs in this game, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? I told man already, Chris Powell was number 2 to a brother that was younger than me. Big Chris Powell, that's in the coaching staff for England in the Euros, bro, was number 2, yeah, to Ryan Mason. It's not about experience, bro. Like, Chris Powell must be in his... I think Chris Powell was probably a footballer, yeah, before Ryan Mason was born. Put it that way.
Fam, it's not even that. I just remembered. Ledley King was first team coach of Tottenham under Mourinho. And then once Mourinho got shifted, these men went in and brought in Ryan Mason, who's never managed, who's never conducted a single training session in his life.
I didn't even say Ledley. The reason why I didn't say Ledley is because Chris Powell, yeah, is older, innit? So if you think about experience, seniority and all of that, like, just based on that, I didn't even get to Ledley. I mean, Ledley and Chris Powell were number 2 to Ryan Mason. And man think that Lee Carsley got the job because of his experience. That, of course, that's not why he got it. Do you know what I mean?
It doesn't make sense. I remember I watched a little clip of Sol Campbell. I think it was like 2 years ago. And then he was talking about how many qualifications he has, how much he studied the game of football, the hours that he's put in.
Who's this?
And then he was mocking it in a sense because he was like, I do all of this behind the scenes and then I struggle and I managed to pattern myself a League 2 team in Macclesfield.
Who's that?
But then you've got that's Sol Campbell.
Sol Campbell, yeah. And you know what? Sol Campbell's mad intelligent as well, yeah. I wouldn't necessarily, bruv, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Sol Campbell would be a good manager because I feel like he wouldn't, innit? But it's one of them ones where, in terms of his general intelligence as a man, innit, like he's very switched on. He's very switched on. Like he's a very intelligent guy, innit? If anyone could figure it out with time, I believe that he could figure it out because he's a smart guy, innit? But that's what I mean. If men are starting in League 2 and stuff like that, and other men are starting in the Championship or the Premier League, yeah. And let's be real, yeah. Like Sol Campbell's a Premier League legend. I don't know how many England caps he ended with, but he's a very capped player for England. Played in World Cups for England. Bruv, Sol Campbell wasn't invincible, wasn't he? Or did he come? Sol Campbell wasn't invincible, wasn't he? Yeah. He's an invincible with Arsenal. All of these things, a man are giving him little idiot jobs, bro. But Rooney walked into a Derby job. Lampard walked into a Derby job. Steven Gerrard's done very.
What's it called? Lampard walked into it. Like Rooney's walked into a Derby team.
Relegation team.
Yeah, relegation. Fam, Lampard walked into a team that used to get playoffs year after year and then bowled it over there, but still managed to get bust with a Premier League job.
Yeah.
Like you're meant to earn it. Like if he had earned promotion and he was playing silky football and then Chelsea came in and were like, yo, I like what you've done at Derby. Step up to Chelsea. I'll be like, fam, you know what? Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Boy, there at Derby.
Yeah, he didn't earn it.
Like
he didn't earn it, innit? He failed upwards. And that's what the privilege gets you, innit? Upwards failure. You know, like that. Literally failing upwards. That's what Ollie did. He failed upwards. Now,
I think it's yeah, go on.
Man saying Ashley Cole is a youth coach at Chelsea. I know, yeah. That because I think Ashley Cole openly said it though. He said that, yo, like I want to get into management. I've had my badges for a while, but I don't think I'm gonna get a job kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? He's kind of said it. He's kind of said it openly. So it's one of them ones where Chelsea were kind of letting him do a thing, but I don't think he was the main youth coach there. I think he was one of them. So the England thing, I think is great for him to be given the opportunity, but behind Carsley, that's a piss take, bro. I can't even lie. It's a disrespect for me, bro.
That's why I said I wouldn't have taken it. I would have just stayed as a pundit.
Yeah. I don't know. It's weird, bro. I can't even lie, bro. Like the Lee Carsley thing's weird, bro. Like it's weird. This is weird, bro. You know what I mean? And the fact that man are saying, oh yeah, like man said Clinton Morrison robbed. The fact that he played for that he didn't even play for England as well. Like, it's like, bro, even if Lampard got it, for me, Lampard don't deserve it. But if Lampard got it, it's like, cool, England, former England player, whatever. But imagine you're a former England player. Ashley Cole's got to be one of England's most capped players.
Bro, he's probably England's best ever left back.
No, he is. But I'm saying, I think he might be one of their most capped players ever, bro. I think he might be. And he's number 2 to Lee Carsley, bro. That's got to hurt, bro. It's got to hurt your pride, bro.
When it comes to like the managerial game, bro, that's where like they don't give a shit what you've done as a player unless it comes to certain man. So like you see with Ollie,
it matters.
Fam, everybody's gassed about flipping him being a United legend and scoring the goal in the Champions League final and but nobody ever looked at his CV. That made no sense. But then when it comes to other man, you study their CV in depth.
Yeah.
So
This is
You
it.
can't
Like
say
man
you're
said,
surprised, you know?
there you go. Like man said, just because you're a good player doesn't mean you're a good manager. No, it doesn't. But when your face fits, yeah, you get the benefit of the fucking doubt. This is the problem. This is the problem. Because Gerrard's doing bloody well right now. But the reason why they took a punt on him was because he's Steven Gerrard and what he done as a player. Same with Lampard. What he done as a player, man, took a punt on him. Rooney, there's nothing about Rooney's football career that would ever make you think he's going to be a good football manager. Nothing. Man can't even hold interviews too tough, bro. You know, like that. So there's nothing about Rooney's career that made you think, yeah, he's going to be a manager. Nothing. And I'm someone that got to watch. I'm old enough to remember when Wayne Rooney signed for Man United. So I followed his whole career. I didn't just see the back end of Wayne Rooney like some of the fans. I saw everything. I saw the Fenerbahce Wayne Rooney. I saw it all. I saw Wayne Rooney flipping Euros 2004, like before he done his metatarsal, ripping man a new one. I seen all of Rooney, and none of anything I saw of him made me think that he was going to be a manager in football. And he was a player manager. Brer went straight into management while he was playing, bro. It wasn't. I don't even know if he had his badges completed because he was still playing.
I don't think so. He worked under that Dutch brother that was at Derby.
So they had Koku.
Yeah, Koku, yeah.
So the fact that when I'm saying to man, yeah, like just because you're a good player, yeah, doesn't mean you're going to be a good manager. That's facts. But bro, that same logic wasn't applied to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. That same logic wasn't applied to most of these men.
That's how it is, you know. That's why, like I always say, yeah, like feel free to love Oli the player, innit? Because I'll be honest, like I watched Oli, like not from when he first came to Man United. Like I'll probably say I watched him his last 2, 3, 4, 5 years. I'll never turn around and tell you, yo, like Oli was my favorite player. Hell no. So the thing is, so the love that these men have for Oli, like God knows what was going on through your head, yeah, to have this mad love for him because he wasn't even that good. But the thing is people.
No, but football fans like to rewrite history, Hodge, bro.
Because look, here's the thing. Like I've always said, yeah, look, my favorite player at Man United was Cristiano Ronaldo. If Ronaldo was to become the Man United manager, I'ma be real, yeah, like bro, I'ma have mad patience with him because I want him to do well. And in the back of my head, I'll always appreciate what he done as a player. But once I clock he's shit and he's not fit for the role, I'ma differentiate between the player and the coach. I'll never ever like forget what you've done in the Man United jersey. Never. But now I'm judging you of the brother in the suit, the bray in the tracksuit. And if you're shit, bounce. But at least I can come out and say the reason why I've given Ronaldo patience because he was my favorite player. And that's why
that's how Chelsea fans were with Lampard. I understood it. Yeah.
But you see with Oli, it's like, why do you have this crazy love for Oli? Because best believe none of you can turn around and tell me you loved him as a player. You can't. He wasn't
a fan favorite. He wasn't a fan favorite. He wasn't. Yeah. At the time, he was literally our 4th choice striker, bro.
Yeah, so it's like
behind Sheringham, Coley, and York.
It makes no sense. It's literally like
it's the one goal, Hodge.
How people say nowadays, what's it called? You live off that one moment. I think with him, it's that Champions League goal. Like I'm not discrediting him in any way. No, good servant of the club, but the way people speak about him, you'd think he's like on the caliber of a Rooney, Ronaldo, Rio Ferdinand, and he's not.
Yeah.
So,
but I said this before, and I got backlash. Even the legend thing, I think the legend thing, yeah, is a reach, blood. Because other than that goal, that man's not remembered for nothing else, and he came off the bench.
He's not my legend.
I remember key moments with Solskjaer. I remember the 5 goals off the bench, and that goal, and that was it, bro.
Yeah. So, fam, he's living off that one moment. He got the job. United fans love a fairy tale, but it's like eventually you have to accept it. Like coming out and saying, yo, Ollie's not a good coach doesn't make you a fake United fan.
It does to certain people, bro, because to be a good United fan, you just have to be deluded, yeah, and you have to be overly positive about absolutely everything associated with the club.
Yeah, like some of them, they treat Man United like a religion. Like they can't.
No, it is a religion. It is a religion to them. And I done a podcast yesterday, which is coming out soon, with a couple of the players that play for me, and they've got a podcast. I'll plug that. And I spoke about that in the podcast. I said it's a religion to them and it's not a religion to me. It's football to me. And that's
Um,
why a lot of these men will never have agreements on, because with religion as well, a lot of people aren't even willing to entertain the idea of something else in it. And that's exactly what how they support the club. So man are dealing with extremists here. When you're dealing with extremists, like
can't win.
You can't win, so there's no point. You know, like
That's
that. And
I'm passionate about it. That's why, like, whenever I get into a debate with someone, and I'm just like, fam, like, is it worth firing the abuse at man just because I said I want Ollie out? Like, is it worth all the racist comments? And I'm thinking, like, fam, like, I don't treat United like a religion. Like, bro, win, lose, or draw, I'm going about my day. United can lose by 3 o'clock. I might be pissed off for half an hour, but then I'm going about my day. I need to see people. I got shit to do. Like, I don't care. I will just survive till the next week, and then I'll spend another hour and a half watching United. But with these, man, it's like filthy love. And I'm thinking, like, fam, you must have jack shit going on in your day to be this obsessed with Man United.
No, but a lot of them don't. They don't. And that's why I call it jobless, bro, because man literally don't have nothing else going on. Legit.
It is jobless, man.
It is. They got nothing else going on, bro. Like, man on Twitter, like, building little cults on Twitter trying to cancel people because they've got nothing better to do, because they got no friends. That's just kind of what it is.
I saw that one.
Yeah, that's just what it is. Big up my man. I feel like Gerrard has earned it. I wouldn't say Gerrard has earned it. What you're trying to say is Gerrard's justified the risk that they took with him. He has. Do you know what I mean? But he still didn't earn it. You know them ones. Like earning it is doing it the hard way, innit? He didn't do it the hard way. So, and I think he would admit that though. Do you know what I mean? He didn't do it the hard way. Do you know what I mean? Even Gareth Southgate, to be fair to him, to credit him, came out and said that, yo, like, I was very fortunate to be given the job that I was given, like, based on what I'd achieved in the game. He came out and he said it.
Yeah, so like the only thing I remember from Southgate was Middlesbrough.
And the missed penalty. No, he wasn't. And the missed penalty. That's what Southgate's whole career is defined by, that miss. Literally. Like, that's the only highlight. The only highlight. So, I don't know. It's a very strange one. That's what I mean. 107 caps, Ashley Cole. If you're someone like that, and then you're number 2 to Lee Carsley, it hurts a little bit. It has to. It has to hurt your pride as a man, innit? It has to. It's just like if you're a soldier, yeah, and you fought for your country, bro. Like, you think, yo, I put my life on the line for this country, and then what? Now I'm back and I can't serve no more. You're just disrespecting, man. And that's kind of what it is. It's like, you're disrespecting me. Lee Carsley. Well, I have to knock on his door, bro. He's got an office in that. Is it? Are you all right? Lee Carsley. I didn't serve with you.
But I think it's more, bro, you know what it is? I think it's more acceptance, isn't it? It's more acceptance that this is where I have to start in order to get to the top if I am good enough, isn't it? Because some people, you can't just walk into that senior role. And this doesn't just relate to football. This is everything. Like, just work as a whole, whether it's a 9 to 5 or whatever. Not everybody can walk into that senior role. Some people actually have to start at the bottom. But that's what makes it sweet. If you start at the bottom and you actually grind it to the top, bro, I'm going to be gassed, because best believe at the end of the day, me and you might be both at the top, but I know I earned it. I know I worked hard for it. So if anything, it benefits them in the long run.
Exactly. A man is saying the same with Mikel Arteta, spot on. And the stuff that I got a backlash from before, because I was having this conversation with Don Robbie. Bro, Patrick Vieira is the manager of Crystal Palace, while Arteta, that was laying out cones for Pep, is the manager of Arsenal. How does that make sense? Patrick Vieira is literally, Mr. Arsenal, bro. Literally. He was their Roy Keane. Like, how's Arteta the manager?
I think with Arteta, the thing that got him the job was the fact that everybody looked at him as like an understudy of Pep. And there's not many managers out there that are emulating Pep in terms of how he plays. So I think
he doesn't emulate Pep as by the way he plays, though.
Yeah, but we never knew this.
Shit.
We never knew this. That's the thing, innit? Like, I'll be real. If I was an Arsenal fan and I saw Arteta under Pep for a few years, Pep is coming out talking about how crucial I am to his team and how much I help him and all, I'm an understudy and all that good stuff. And then I get linked with the Arsenal job, bro, I'd get gassed. Because I'd be like, fam, even if you can bring forward 50% of what Pep knows. You know what? Not even 50%, 25%.
Yeah.
Will look good. But the thing is, he brought jack shit. So that's why it looks bad at the moment.
Boy, I hear all of that. But then at the same time, yeah, my point will always remain, yeah, that the clout that you have as a player, yeah, and what you've done only works when you're a certain man. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because Vieira's, what he's done at Arsenal and the fact that he's got experience at other clubs should have been enough to get him that job straight away. Should have been enough. The same way Lampard's, what he done at Chelsea was enough to get him the Chelsea job.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. You're right. But what I'm saying is, yeah, when you look a certain way, it's enough. And when you don't, it's not enough. Your CV only gets taken into account when you look like man. That's the only time man care about CVs. Other than that, it's you can have this. Paul McShane, bruv. He's got the DNA. 35 years old, never won nothing in his whole career. He's under 23s manager at Man United. How?
I think it's more just have the energy, have the same energy for everyone. Yeah. If you're gonna,
but that's the whole thing. Equality is. That's what equality is, Hodge, bro. That's why man are kneeling, bro. Because man want to get treated like you. We want to be underqualified and still get the job too, bro. Like the whole equality thing isn't like, yo, like man want the money you're getting and all this and that, bro. You don't even have to like, man. You don't even have to like us. But what we want is the same opportunities as these other men to get these jobs, bro. We want to be underqualified and still get the jobs. Or it needs to be a level playing field where it's CV for CV, experience for experience. That's what man are kneeling for, literally. Literally. That's what man are kneeling for that, bro. For that.
Yeah, it's 100%. And it's like I said, it's not just football. It's everything.
Of course it is. It's everything. And look at Phil Jones as well. He's another one. Everyone talks about Pogba and money, this, that, and the other, bro. Bro, I don't think, bruv, how many games has Phil Jones played in the last 3 seasons, bro? And Phil Jones got a new deal, and he's just been sitting on money at Man United. And it's funny how these top Reds forgot that Phil Jones is still here sucking the club dry financially, and he's not playing. But no one's talking about it.
Doesn't make sense because a year ago, Pogba was injured. And I think he took like a relatively long time out.
They were saying he was faking it, bro.
Yeah, precisely. Man, them started coming out saying, oh yeah, he's faking it. He just doesn't want to play. And I'm thinking, fam, like you've got brothers that haven't played for 2 years. How come you're not getting onto them for saying, yo, they're just stealing a living? But you've got one player that's constantly uploading clips of him in the gym, him seeing specialists, him trying to recover. So it's mad. It's a sticky topic, but it is what it is.
That's what I'm saying. Jones has been paid over 30 million euros in the last 10 years to play no football. To play no football, bro.
Bro, any other team would have just terminated his contract. Any other top
100%.
team. Any 100%. Other team. But you see with United, it's like the Phil Jones one is always the one that baffles me. Where I'm like, fam, he's not playing. And even if he was to get fit and someone was to say to you right now, yo, you're guaranteed 1 whole year of Phil Jones injury-free, he still doesn't make the bench.
Yeah.
So why does he
yeah.
He doesn't lying, bro. He doesn't make it. So why is he here? Is he just here to use peas? Because United are the first team to cry about the wage structure, about, we need to shift the man in order to buy a man because the wages are mad. But you've got man that won't play, that will never play, but they're just coaching at yard. So it makes no sense.
Facts, bro. Facts. And that's what I'm saying, bro. Man, 5-year deal for Phil Jones. But these men don't want to talk about that, you know. But they're saying, Pogba was faking his injury and he doesn't deserve a pay rise on that, bro. Even though Pogba's our most marketable player at the whole football club and probably generates the most money for the club.
Yeah. Pogba, I'm not going to say is the main reason, but he's one of the reasons why we're going out and signing players like a Sancho, players like a Varane. Like even Camavinga came out and said, he was like, I entertain the idea of coming to Man United because I want to play with Paul Pogba.
Yeah.
It makes so much sense. Like he's the face of Man United, but man, them just don't like it.
That's it. Yo, see, that's what I'm saying. The man just tagged me in something about Leon Bailey. Aston Villa have made the bid. Told man, bro. By the end of the week, Grealish is a City player, bro. There you go. A man ain't no in the know, blood. I just know people in the game, innit? So when they tell me stuff, I have a reason to believe them, innit? You know them ones. I know it's not Gabby, blood, because I know you man are gonna think it's Gabby, and that it wasn't Gabby. Still, I haven't spoken to Gabby in like a week, so it's one of them ones where, yeah, bro. Leon Bailey's coming to Villa. I think that's a sick signing, bro. Like, what do you make of him? Like, what have you seen of him?
So from what I've seen, I've only seen a few clips of him from when he was at. Matt, did he disconnect?
No, I'm here.
Oh, fair. From what I've seen, just like the little clips from when I think he's at Bayern Leverkusen. He looks good, man. Quick feet, can beat a man, can create, can score. And I think when you put him in that Villa team, especially the way they play football, like the players can interchange, that would be a good front line to be, especially with Buendia coming in. And here's the best part. If Grealish doesn't even leave, that's better for him because he's surrounded by more ball. But the way they play, like especially for an Aston Villa, like Aston Villa are a top team, like they're a big team. But let's be real, in the Premier League, no one really looks at them as one of the biggest teams, like a team that's going to be competing for Europe and all of that good stuff. Nobody does. But the football 100%. They play without any fear. And that's going to benefit him. Like, they don't have none of this pragmatic approach. No, like, they will go out and play their game. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose.
Yeah, that's it. And there's not really much pressure on him.
Yeah, it's going to benefit him a lot. Because if anything, it's a stepping stone. He'll come here, get Premier League experience. If he does wonders, bro, other Premier League teams will come in for him.
You'll get a move, 100%.
Yeah, if not, there's not much expectations.
100%. And my man said he's similar to Pulisic. Yeah, without the injury prone, definitely very direct, gets on the ball, and he just goes at people, innit? He's a very good footballer, man. Do you know what I mean? And there's bare yardies in Birmingham and that, so you'll be cool there, blood. You know, like that. So, nah, man, I'm looking forward to seeing him. I can't lie. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the Prem still. Man, I might have to get that Bailey shirt, blood. You get me? Opinion on Ashley Young signing for Villa. Bro, I don't think there's too much to be said about that, to be fair. I think that's just a common sense signing. He wanted to come back. And, you know what I mean? He's been there before. Like, I think it's just one of them things. He might even have been offered like a coaching job after. You never know. A lot of these footballers are getting these kind of deals now.
Probably has, because John Terry's left. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. But that's why I'm surprised as well. John Terry, I thought that he would have been in the mix for the England as well. The England under 21s. He's another one. He's left and gone where?
I think with Terry, there's no way he leaves Aston Villa with 2-3
without a
weeks
guaranteed job.
Starts,
yeah,
without a job. Like, there's no way you take that gamble. So I think there is something lined up. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a championship or maybe as an assistant manager, but like a relatively bigger Premier League club. But I think it's championship. That's what I think.
Very true. That'd be very interesting. On that note, my guy, do you know what I'm saying? We're gonna wrap up, lad. Man said John Terry probably left to link someone's wife, lad. So yeah, on that note, do you know what I'm saying? Hey, you man, make sure you follow Harji's Twitch. Have you hit the 1K yet, my bro?
No, I think I'm on 925.
Come on, guys. Do you know what I'm saying? What's your Twitch so they can go follow that?
So it's H4JJ, but I need to change that in 2 weeks because it's a mad name.
Oh yeah, like once you have you sorted out your papers yet?
The thing now, I only hit affiliate yesterday night.
Okay, well, the form that I told you to sort out, make sure you run that in it, and then what they can do is they can get you any handle that you want in it.
Yeah, no. Funny enough, I done that yesterday as well. When I got the email saying congratulations, you become an affiliate, I was like, yo, let me apply for that again, because the first time I applied, they said you can't because you're not an affiliate. So
okay, like, cool. But so yeah, it's H4JJ in it. Like they've put it in here. There you go. So make sure you man go get him up to 1,000 people. Do you know what I'm saying? Like he's what 75 off that. Do you know what I mean? There's over 1,000 people in here, so you man could definitely do that. So subscribe to his Twitch. Make sure you subscribe to my Twitch as well. Obviously, I've got news for you about that coming up shortly and that. So make sure that you're over there. because yeah, man, it's gonna be an exciting season. So make sure you look into the Twitch, people. Smash the like button as well. It's important. And yeah, bro, I definitely, you man in the comments are moving mad. Do you know what I'm saying? And I'll definitely see you, man, tomorrow. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you're new here. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, no, here we go. It's not yet, bruv. Not yet. Do you know what I mean? Few more days. Make sure you follow the Twitch, people. News coming soon. And I will see you, man, tomorrow.